Hello there, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Johnny Test, Fred Flintstone, and one of my personal favorites, Leonardo, and you are listening to Epic Tales from the Sewer. It's totally awesome, turtle power, go, go, go!
Strap into the party wagon and hold on to your pizza. The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, Issue 5. Written by Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz. Then, pencils by S.L. Gallant. Inks by Maria Keene. Now, pencils and inks by Ben Bishop. Splinter's Journal by Kevin Eastman. Colorist, Luis Antonio Delgado. Letterer, Sean Lee. Ukraine. Then, Shakka is gone. We can see on the ground Shakka's dead. Looks like the carotid artery on his neck was exploded with those explosives. As they run towards the steaming corpse, we can see the Ronin looking on. Shakka's gone. Dead. Because of me. We have a winner! By way of disqualification, your champion is the Turtle Titan! They raise his hand in victory. The story so far. Years after losing his family to a brutal war with the Foot Clan, Michelangelo again found himself in the wake of death and destruction left by the warlord Deathworm. Having traveled far and lost much, Michelangelo realized one truth. So long as evil like Deathworm persists, he will never know peace. Boo, says the onlookers. I want my money back, as they're climbing up the cage of the Thunderdome. One of them grabs onto Michelangelo. Let go of me! And let go of him, as they try to pick him up. Picking up Shakka's corpse. Bloody idiot! He's gonna turn this into a riot! Parker, get your Shakka lads into the cage, as they said. It appears our monster's got some fight left in him. Disqualification? You call this a disqualification? I call it an execution! As he grabs a sword from an onlooker outside the cage and then cuts the cage. Come on, then. You want your money's worth? As he cuts off someone's ear on the outside. Ah! I'll give you your money's worth. All of you. But you know the rules. Kill or be... And he falls to the ground with a whoomp. One of the onlookers tased him. So he's sitting there on the ground just looking over at Shakka. And he says to himself, killed, as he's hit with about 3 tasers. Now we see the turtle ghost just talking to him. Wait, what'd you say? I said Mikey could have gotten himself killed, the dummy. Wow. Of all people saying that, with a straight face boggles the mind, Donatello says to Raphael. Doesn't mean Raph's wrong, Donnie. Mikey's lucky he's not dead after losing his discipline like that. And after he took out all those other mutants just to get here, says Raph. More like bad science experiments and irradiation victims than mutants, Raph. But yeah, it was almost all for nothing. Especially when he's closer to honoring his oath to Master Yip. Discipline, honor, luck, oaths. You 3 are really something, you know that? Standing here bitching and moaning about things I don't even have. I don't think any of you idiots even understand, but I understand now. I know the truth. All that stuff you're always harping about, honor, redemption, whatever is just an end, and there's only ever been one means to the end, one path. Revenge. He wakes up with a gah! There he is! He's on a medical table as they're bringing him back, possibly with a defibrillator. I was starting to think Fret Shakka lads juiced ye up a bit too much this time. Now just lie still so I can back off. As he hits the doctor. Ah! Now, mate, good doctor's only trying to shut out those wee bombs we got lurking in your throat. Your promised reward for being our newest champ. Not the finest championship bout we've ever thrown, mind ye. But a win's a win, and a promise is a promise. So he looks like he's about to break the doctor's arm. Fine. Do it. The doctor sticks in the 2 probes to take out the explosives with a shoop. All done. Now, see? Easy as pie. And Parker here, he's got your clothes, weapons, and odds and ends that arrived with when you first journeyed to our little traveling circus. Bloody heavy bag of junk's what it is. Now don't tell me you're worried you're missing something. As he picks up Splinter's journal and puts it to his head and has a tear. He's not lost it after all. As if we are a band of petty thieves. That hurt our feelings as bad as it does mine, Parker. It just might, boss. Finn and I had any. As he said, he starts getting geared up back into his clothes. Well, Parker's cold black heart notwithstanding, once you're dressed, you're free to go wherever you wish, and do whatever you want, she says to him. And all of a sudden he grabs her, with a sigh to her throat. Bollocks, says Parker. I want your boss, Deathworm. Take me to him. My boss? Did you hear that, lads? Our champ wants to go none other with Deathworm himself. As if the big man was at our beck and call to deliver such a mad challenge. Enough. Just tell me where he is, or I'll kill you. Aye, you just might, boyo. But then we lads here will kill you, and we'll be dead as your mate Shakka, making a sacrifice a bloody waste, wouldn't ye say? Appears ye martyred yourself to just go off to be the hero. Be a real shame to let the lad down. Aye. But seeing as ye've a death wish, since I'm sporting kind, I'll let you know where to find him. He's busy spreading his special skills across Europe these days, I'm told. We've couriers who take him the money we make at these tournaments to him, and the last delivery made was in old Italy. That's where you'll find Deathworm. That's where you'll find your end. Why'd you let that monkey beast go, boss? Finn, we could have killed him as soon as you set him loose. Oi, but we have killed him, Parker. The journey have set him on. He's as good as dead. As the Ronin takes off from the camp. We see he's got the bow staff. He's got all the weapons, the goggles on his outfit that he picked up in Town 41. Without looking back, I left without a second thought. I left Ukraine for Italy. Or rather, we left. Now we can see the ghosts of all behind him. Now Shakka's included with the Turtles, Fugitoid, April, Casey, and the young girl that he met in Mongolia, next to Master Splinter. No matter how hard I tried during my long week, I couldn't shake my little entourage of death. My parade of failure. They were with me every step of the way, silently accusing. My brothers kept their mouths shut for the most part. Even when they got yapping, I just ignored them. We can see now that he's walking through Europe. He's crossed some bridges. There's flying cars around, too, very futuristic. He hops on a freighter. I was hearing the only words that mattered to me now, echoing over and over inside my head. Not any words my father ever said, or Master Yip, or my brothers. At least none ever said out loud. We see he's made it to Italy. But Boss Finn did. She never hid her words behind innuendo. She said them like they were the truth that they are, the only truth I've known as far back as I can remember. My family's truth. My truth. Kill or be killed. We see that he's made it. The turtle ghosts are behind him as he looks on to the Roman Colosseum. Whoa, Deathworm's holed up in the Roman Colosseum? Makes a kind of twisted sense if you think about it. And thinking's what we should be doing right now. That place is bound to be crawling with Deathworm's thugs. No way to just waltz inside. What's the plan, Mikey? There you go with that we stuff again, Leo. There's only one plan, the same plan we've had for the last 15 years. You three stand around running your mouths, while I take care of business. I know my brothers mean well, but they're dead as doornails, which means they're no good to me right now. Me? I'm not dead. I'm not a doornail. I'm a ninja, as he takes out his grappling hook and starts swinging it to climb up. And if I expect to stay alive long enough to face Deathworm, I better get busy acting like one, as he climbs up vertically onto the Colosseum. Damn. As he looks into the Colosseum, he can see it's a training center. Looks like there's hand-to-hand combat, ninja combat, and people doing drills with guns. Dead or not, Leo was right. This place is roach-infested. What was it that Raph said in Kazakhstan? Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. As he takes out 3 gas bombs. Simple as that. As he throws them in and just dives in. To fumigate some annoying bugs. The gas, there's smoke. What the? Says one of them. All training in sort of karate geese. Smoke? Who the hell? Me. Fumigate and exterminate. And he just starts slashing away and stabbing people with the size. Where is he? Here. Stab someone in the back of the head. But I'm not here for any of you, as he says, just cutting an absolute swath through these people. I'm here for your boss's head. Nothing else. Stabbing another one and another. But if you stand in my way, I'll gladly take yours too, as he does actually take someone's head. Enough, says a voice. That voice, booming, commanding, in Mongolian. All of you move aside. He's mine. Finally, as he jumps onto him, there's a man with sort of a slicked back haircut with a ponytail, wearing an open jacket. He's got knives on a belt around his chest and sort of a circular, looks like a weight belt, and some knee pads that match it. Almost looks like a lower part of a samurai armor. And on his chest is a big Deathworm tattoo. He dives towards the Ronin. After all this time, after so many deaths, time to honor my oath. He slashes him in the back, and the man falls down and grabs his leg a little bit. It's time to end this. He's big, strong. Can't let him get a hold of me. Kill you. Keep him at a distance. On his heels. He throws Raph's sai, and it catches him right in the forehead. The man falls down with a whoomph. Wait. What? Too easy. Yes, it was, as someone cracks him on the head behind him as he drops his sword. How many times did I tell Kerrang that charging like a feral beast would be the end of him? Who? Countless times. No way. You're Deathworm? Yes, it is what I am called, Ogoko Kokori, my birth tongue. But do not be deceived by appearances. We see a man who looks like kind of a Mongolian monk in a blue kimono sort of outfit with just a traditional Mongolian hat holding a staff. The name is well earned, as he hits the Ronin upside the face with his staff and knocks him down. And I know who you are. Stupid Mike. Or rather, what you are. One of those wasteland monsters. Gah, as he actually snaps the staff over the top of his head. Real stupid. His head's now bleeding. Escaped Boss Vin's Travelly Circus, did you? Didn't escape. I'm champion. Kept the big clumsy oaf at a distance, but let this sneaky twerp streak right in. Champion, you say? You survived all that, earned your freedom, and chose to come here? Why would you do something so foolish? Revenge for Shakka. For Garo. Head spinning, legs shaking. For Hokkaido. Hokkaido? So that was you. I do vaguely recall those idiots I sent up that mountain. The few who survived your slaughter claiming they'd been attacked by a green monster. I believe they even pursued you for a time. And now here you are after all these years seeking vengeance for something I barely remember? As he reaches down and pulls the sai out of his head. Amazing. And quite frankly, ridiculous. I cannot even begin to comprehend the concept of revenge for the dead. For family, for anything, what value is there in it? I consider all life as a grain of sand. Unless it serves my purpose, it is worth nothing. And if life is worthless, it only leads death. Too much blood in my eyes. Can't see. We hear back to Master Yip. Your senses are like a kingdom, Michelangelo. When they are divided, we fall. But when they are united in harmony, the entire worlds reveal themselves. And here in my world, I am that death. As he throws the sai at the Ronin, who whoosh, catches it, as it would have landed right between his eyes. Not so weakened as you appeared. Well, as a great man once told me, don't mistake softness for weakness. And now, what were you saying about sand? Kill that. Do not interfere, he says to his disciple as he pulls a knife out of his sheath. Time to show this monster who the real champion is. Yeah, he's fast. As he blocks it with his sai. And a second strike. That was and way stronger than he looks. There's a long line of fools who've attempted to hope what you accomplished today. Yeah. As he slices underneath his arm. I am here, they are not. Ignore the chatter, Mike. Stay focused. Back to Master Yip. Remember your training. How can you master what you hold in your hands if you do not first master your hands? Remembering back to the training of the Wing Chun. And now you join them. No. As he stops him with one hand, and then with the left hand just punches him on the side of the face. Reaching back into his bag of tricks, pulls out the two electrified tonfa. Not ever. Remember these? No! Let me remind you, as he hits him on top of the head with both at the same time, kind of charring him with a electric aura that consumes him as he falls dead with a thump. He looks on. Your boss was right. He is death. Anyone want to follow the leader? No? Smart choice. As he looks down at the guy that he had killed with Raph's Sai, nice coat, and steals it. As he leaves, looking the most like the regular Ronin that we've seen, now complete with that coat. He's got his goggles, he's got his bags full of his tonfa, the bow staff, the broken sword, and the Sai. Deathworm is dead. For Master Yip, for Geralt, for Shakka. It's over. But I'm not finished. As he looks onto a boat. It's time to go home, says Bernili, Italy. No waiting, no stopping, no mercy, no peace. Hiroto, you're next, as he writes in his journal. The journal goes back to Kevin Eastman art style. It says, no peace. New York City, now. A lot has changed. Since you were all just tiny turtles, and up until now, you've grown so much. Not just your size, but your skills, too. We see the turtles. We see Una, Moyo, Yi, and Odin all holding a weapon. Casey Marie speaks. My sensei, Master Michelangelo, traveled across the world to save New York. Along the way, he learned how important it is for a ninja to master multiple fighting forms and weapons. I've tried my best to teach you everything he taught me before he died, and all the stuff I've learned from Master Splinter's journal since, to show you that you can be the best ninjas you can be. Casey Marie, who looks on with her battle paint across her eyes as April's behind her. We've always told each one of your names means one, derived from different languages Michelangelo encountered on his journey, and a constant reminder that even though you are four, you're also one. One team, one family. And number one in our heart, all of you, says Casey Marie. Always, more than anything, I wish that this day would never come. But sadly it has. And now, together it's our turn to help protect this city the same way my sensei's family and my mom and dad did. She puts on the bottom mask. Time to take all that we trained so hard and long to achieve underground up to the streets. We see this really great Ben Bishop art panel that shows the four turtles ready to go. The end, for now. And that's the end of The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, issue number 5.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time. And now, your pizza recipe of the day, 3 cheese white pizzas. Active 25 minutes, total 45 minutes, plus 2 to 4 hours for rising. Serves about 8 people. For the dough, 1 teaspoon active dry yeast, 1 cup warm water, 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 teaspoons sugar, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, plus more for the bowls, 3 cups all-purpose flour, plus more for dusting, 2 teaspoons kosher salt. For the pizzas, 2/3 cup ricotta cheese, 1/2 cup grated Parmesan cheese, about 1 ounce, 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil, plus more for brushing, 2 cloves garlic, grated, 1/2 teaspoon chopped fresh oregano or rosemary, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon red pepper flakes, kosher salt, 4 ounces fresh mozzarella cheese, thinly sliced. Step 1. Make the dough. Combine the yeast, water, and sugar in a food processor and pulse once to combine. Let sit until foamy, 5 to 10 minutes. Add olive oil. Pulse to combine. Mix the flour, the salt in a medium bowl and add to the food processor and pulse until the dough pulls away from the side and gathers around the blade. Step 2. Turn out the dough onto a lightly floured surface and form into 2 even balls. Transfer to lightly oiled bowls. Cover with plastic wrap and let rise in a warm place until doubled in size, about 2 to 4 hours. About 1 hour before baking, set the pizza stone or inverted large baking sheet on the lowest rack of the oven. Preheat to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. To make the pizzas, combine the ricotta, Parmesan, olive oil, garlic, oregano, and red pepper flakes in a medium bowl, season with salt, and mix well. Stretch the 1 ball of dough into a 12-inch round on a lightly floured pizza peel or other inverted baking sheet. Spread half the ricotta mixture on top, leaving a 1/2-inch border. Top with half of the mozzarella, then brush the edge of the dough lightly with olive oil. Slide the pizza onto the hot stone and bake until the crust is golden and the cheese is bubbling, about 7 to 10 minutes. Transfer to a cutting board and let cool slightly. Repeat to make the second pizza. And that's your pizza time of the day, 3 cheese white pizzas.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, or Nickelodeon Studios. This podcast is a member of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Check out thedorkening.com for other podcasts. Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper and Eric Will.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Seed's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Technical Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over. And we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listeners. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.